Hi guys, and welcome back to the Yarn Junkie podcast. My name is Amber. I'm coming to you from my home in Texas, where I live with my husband, our 3 daughters, and 3 dogs. My little co-host here is Ruby. She is 9 months old, and she likes to talk, chatter, so she might get a little bit loud. I forgive my crummy lighting situation in background. It is a rainy, gray day here in Texas, and setting up in the living room would have just taken too long, and I wanted to get sat down and chat with you guys before Ruby needs to go down for her morning nap. I don't know how other podcasters with young babies do it, like Chelsea. She has a baby that's just a month younger than mine. Actually, not even a month, I don't think. Maybe a couple of weeks, but yeah, and Tabby and Rachel and all these people that have little tiny babies that podcast, I have no idea how you guys do it, because Ruby takes up my entire day. It's been about 4 months since I last spoke with you guys. I think it's episode 70, maybe. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and catching up with what I've been doing. And if you're a new viewer, forgive my all over the place thought process today, because I have no show notes and I just have everything that I've been working on kind of dragged out. It's the easiest way to do this right now, because this is where I house most of my knitting stuff in my room, and she just is not going to have the patience for me to write show notes and do all that and still be a little good baby. So here I am. I have been working on quite a bit, but I haven't finished hardly anything. Again, blame the baby. I'm going to blame everything on the baby today. So I did finish my Weekender sweater, which is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. A lot of people have knit this. I used Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the colorway Plume, which is a very dark purple plummy color. Again, my lighting is really bad in here, so sorry. I did 10 less stitches than the pattern called for the body, so it's not as oversized. And I knit it 2 inches longer. I did the small size. Guys, I'm sorry. Again, my brain does not work. And I had the body done really quickly and stuck it in a bag, and then just now recently knit the sleeves. So I did it 2 inches longer because I didn't want a cropped sweater. A heavyweight, long sleeve cropped sweater just doesn't really make that much sense to me. I mean, you do you, and Andrea Mowry can obviously wear her sweaters how she likes and design them how she likes, but I wanted it a bit longer. I will put it on just to show you guys. I honestly love the very wide boat neck. I know a lot of people have said that they don't like that. I don't mind wearing a tank top under it. I'm pretty sure I just put this on backwards. The front, it's a split hem, and so the front hem is just a little bit shorter than the back hem. So it's really easy to figure out. Oh, I just popped her in the head. I am really, really happy with this FO. I love Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. It's a little bit rustic, and I know a lot of people don't like that, but I really love this sweater. And I don't have anything else to say about it. I knit it 10 inches less in the body, so it's not as boxy. I'm still, 40 pounds over my normal weight because of the baby. I don't nurse. I feed her breast milk, and I have to pump. And so when I'm making milk, my body holds on to it, retains that extra weight in order to feed a baby. And so once I wean, for my other 2, it was true. I am a little bit older now, so I might have a little bit more time adjusting, but when I wean, the weight comes off. And that's what I'm saying, though. It's like my chest is quite a bit bigger than it normally is. So that is all I have to say about that project. enough boob talk for you guys. I really am happy with this sweater. I didn't know that I would like the reverse stockinette, but I do. It's cute. It's really cool. So that is done. Here's a little finished object. Thanks, Ruby. So I knit her crocheted. I crocheted her 2 of these little mushrooms with some leftover sock yarn I had. I held it double with a cream and a rainbow yarn. And I crocheted her 2 of these. So this one is just stuffed, and then I have a little, honestly, it was a cellophane thing that yarn came in. I just crinkled it up because she likes that crinkle sound. And the other one that I crocheted, I think it's in the living room. But I put a pill bottle inside of it and, you know, did the base a little bit wider so it would fit a pill bottle. And then I put lentils inside the pill bottle, and so she could shake it and it would rattle. But I enjoyed making these, and she likes playing with them. I give a baby a snack. Okay. And she might get fussy, so forgive me if she does. That is it as far as finished objects go. I have worked on my Zweig quite a bit, but I haven't made very much progress just because of the baby. So I've started on the body, and I said last episode that I was going to definitely do the X's because I feel like if you spend that much time doing the beautiful lace yoke, that you have to do the X's on the body. But then I didn't know if I wanted to have the mental space to do that. And so I put it in a bag and thought on it for quite a bit. I finally broke it back out, and I am indeed doing the little X's on the body, which you can't even see in this horrible lighting. And Tabby from the Hey Sister podcast just showed hers as an FO, and she actually just did ribbing on the little to finish off the sleeves, and I'm thinking I might do that, and that way this is like a summer, I don't know, I might do full sleeves. I haven't decided yet. Once I get done with the body, I'll revisit that. But I'm really enjoying this. I wanted it finished, but I keep casting on new things and working on other things. So this is my here and there project that I work on ever so often. I'm crashing everything. Sorry for hitting the box. But I do enjoy working on that. You want to come sit with me? My yarn broke out. So this is one of my acquisitions. I've been... You okay? She does that when she needs attention. She requires attention. She fake coughs. Because it gets her what she wants. I broke this and it makes me sad. So she kind of crinkled the skeins a while ago when we were setting up. And I opened it to get them back in order, and now it won't stick. But I've been hoarding this since I got it. This is the mini skein set from Loco Color Riot. These are all her new fall colorways, which I'm completely in love with this. And I had to order it. And I've been working on my crocheted granny stripe blanket quite a bit at nighttime when my husband and I watch TV when Ruby has gone to bed for the night. It's just something that I can work on really easily without thinking, and I can, you know, see this really well because it's just easy peasy crocheting. But that's what I have on it so far, and I really loved this section. This is the start of it, and I'm not a fan of that now that I've gotten this done. And so since I was working on this so much, I thought, like, I don't have enough minis. I thought, let me order a mini skein set in rainbow so I can add it to my blanket. But then when I got this, I really think that it would be beautiful to pair with a gray. And so to do like not self-striping, but a striping cardigan for Ruby. I'm not sure if that's what I'll use it for, or if I will go ahead and stick it in my blanket, or if I'll order another set and do Rubia's sweater as well as putting it in my blanket. Let's find something for you. Oh, look at this book. We love books. So that's my blanket. I've enjoyed working on this lately. It's just mindless, easy crocheting at night. Something else that I've been working on, I showed you guys my finished object. Let me go back to that right quick, because this is the yarn I have left over. I think I had 7 or 8 skeins of the Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, maybe even 9. I think it was 8. And this is what I have left. So enough for a hat for sure, probably a skein and a half here. And I probably could have knit it an inch longer even, and I would have liked it an inch longer, and I wish I would have done that. Why are you diving forward? Here. So, in addition to working on all of the sweaters, I knit these socks for my husband. I've knit quite a few socks, mostly single socks, but these I started back in April. And they still have no heels. Because why knit heels for socks when you can start new socks? I have super terrible news if you don't follow Jinx Yarns on Instagram. She's no longer dyeing yarn. I have a whole little basket here full of different socks that I've knit. I showed you guys last time. Obviously, I'm a fan of Jinx Yarn. These are single socks. I knit this one over the summer. I have yet to knit its pair or its mate. You can see my basket here. Clean, single, and looking for my match. It's a sock basket that I found at Tuesday Morning, which is like a random store that sells a bunch of home goods. But, so I have been knitting other socks. This is my March sock that I showed you guys. I did cast on for the second one, but I haven't had headspace to knit second socks. I started this sock, which is a Jinx yarn in her dark unicorn colorway. I've started this sock, which is her Jinx yarns in the fox colorway. I got this yarn in her Christmas in July update, which is the tartan colorway. I still need to get one more skein of her yarn in order to have a box of Jinx socks, because I only have 11. What else have I been working on? I knit this sock, a little roller with the double cuff. I have not even cast on for that second sock. I have been working on my Sunset Highway, but again, I haven't even gotten very far since I showed you guys last time. I think I was about here, and then I ripped it out because it was puckering, or wasn't puckering. I had sized up my needle for the color work, and it was really gappy. And so I just decided to keep on with the same needle size and just try to be mindful of my floats. And I'm still not super happy with where this sweater is going right now, with the puckering that I am experiencing. I feel like my floats are really good, but I don't know that color work yokes are my jam. But I think it will block out, and so I've just knit on that a little bit. Something else I have been working on is here. You want to sit right here and let me feed you puffs? Here. Nope. Is my Kobo cat, and I showed you guys my yarn the last podcast, which was this Madeline Tosh, which has gray. It's a gray with, you know, little flecks of green and some purples. And then I got the green Shibui knits. I think it's called Apple. Yeah. And I don't know about this. So I started it and I really love the knit, but I don't know that I love how it's marled. I'm thinking about ripping it out and going with a gray instead of that green. Tell me, guys, what do you think? But so we'll see. Something else I've been working on, all of the things, you guys, all of the things. This is an acquisition. So I really wanted to knit the Tecna, which you know what it looks like, another Caitlin Hunter pattern. And I have used this yarn in a different base before, this colorway. It's Lolo did it in her colorway Folsom. But I really wanted a specific base for my Tecna. I wanted it to be a really like breezy summer top. So I ordered her Dreamy base, which is a 70% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. And it's like butter, you guys. This is the softest and most amazing, luxurious yarn I've ever felt in my life. And so I went ahead and swatched for this. I'm team no swatch 100%. I wanted to make sure to do the right gauge on this so I could have the finished object like I wanted. You are just being so hungry. And now you guys know I don't podcast anymore. But so I made a little swatch and I washed it and I blocked it like a good knitter. Look at this. It's a swatch, you guys. So you want to hold this? You want to hold this? So I cast on for the Tecna, and I did the setup row, which you put your stitch markers in, and that's how far I got on that, because lace takes concentration and focus, which is not something I have a lot of right now. I might put this in the car and use it as my pickup line knitting, and that's something I might touch on again later. We drive to the school now. So that's in my Bags by Awesome Granny bag, and I really want this FO. I just don't have any headspace to knit lace currently. So that's a future project. And after I finished my weekender, I went ahead and cast on my husband a sweater. I hope to have it done by Christmas, but I highly doubt I will. I originally got Sweaters Quantity, it's right there, of Shelter in the Sit colorway for his sweater, because that's what the pattern uses, by Michelle Wong, the Slade pattern, which is a Brooklyn Tweed pattern. It's just an open style cardigan. It does have 2 buttons, but I don't think I'm going to do the buttons. He's asked me for a sweater, but he's a huge guy, and I would rather knit for myself because I'm terrible and selfish. I knit him a lot of socks, but as far as sweaters go, I have never knit him a sweater. But I had this yarn from Miss Babs that I originally bought for that pattern, but I decided I didn't want to use it. I don't remember why, but I returned to this once he said he didn't like the Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. Once I finished this, he was like, he didn't use the word rustic. He does not like rustic yarn. He says it's scratchy and terrible. So I went ahead and dug out my Miss Babs Wowza. I am alternating skeins. I have 2 here because it's a hand-dyed yarn, and this one is a little bit darker than the other one. And this is what I have so far. So when I was knitting it on the Shelter, I had done the ribbing, and I showed it to him, and he was like, that better not be for me. That yarn is way too scratchy. And so I ripped it out and restarted on the Miss Babs, and I really love this colorway. And he wears a lot of gray, and his beard is this like fiery red, and it has all these copper tones in it. So I think I'm going to really love seeing him in that. And this is what I've been working on instead of my blanket at nighttime now. That's my nighttime knitting because it's just easy, mindless, back and forth for, you know, 17 inches or whatever it is. What else have I been working on, you guys? I started Ruby a sweater. This is from Stash as well. It is Malabrigo yarn. This colorway is Ivy, and this one is Natural. I knit myself a pullover in the Ivy, and then the Natural is from my Babel hat. So this is going to be for her birthday, which is in December. We usually go to the mountains to New Mexico to go skiing. For Christmas, last year we didn't get to go because Ruby was 4 days old. And so this year we're definitely going. My husband and girls are really looking forward to going skiing. I won't ski. I'll just be doing what I'm doing right now, wrestling with a little baby. So I really wanted to knit her a sweater so I could take pictures of her being 1 year old in the mountains with the snow and the trees. And that might not even be the only sweater that I cast on for her. I'd really like, in theory, to knit both of the older girls' sweaters too, but in reality, I know that I probably would be lucky to get through my husband's sweater. What else? I think I just have... I actually wanted to ask you guys advice. So I have a sweater quantity of this yarn. I actually have 6 skeins of this beautiful, I can't hold all of them. This is Daffodil, the colorway Madeline Tosh Daffodil, in their 80-10-10 fingering weight. And I got this quite a while ago. I have one more skein that I can't pick them all up. I really want to knit the portage cardigan. I have different yarn that I could use for that, but in my mind, my portage cardigan, I want to knit it out of Daffodil. So I do not have enough yardage to hold it double, even though fingering weight would be, it's a DK weight pattern. So if I held it double, it would be perfect, but I don't have enough yardage, and I've checked D-Stash on Ravelry. I've messaged one person, but it's been a few weeks and she hasn't gotten back to me, so I'm not holding my breath on that. But I would really like to knit it in this yarn in that pattern. So have you guys ever adapted a pattern for either a fingering weight sweater that you knit with worsted or a, you know, DK weight sweater that you knit with fingering? How would I math that? I don't understand. Should I just knit, you know, a smaller needle with a much bigger size than I would normally wear? Or I don't really know. If I did do a gauge swatch, how do I still determine which size to cast on? I think that's what the stitch per count is for. Help me understand how I would adapt that pattern for this yarn. And if you have any of this in your stash that you want to sell to me, message me. It is, like I said, Madeline Tosh, 80-10-10 fingering, merino wool, cashmere nylon, in colorway Daffodil. I am obsessed with this colorway. I want my portage to be in this yarn. And I just don't have enough yardage to be able to hold it double to manage that entire sweater. Because I think I need like 1,700 yards or something. But I'm obsessed and I want to knit it. I will, if there's not a way, I will definitely order different yarn. I was thinking about this colorway from Loco. It's honey fur. I think it would be beautiful in that too. But that's not as golden as this is. And I'm obsessed with this colorway, and it's been sitting in my stash for so long, and I would love to do something with it. I thought about doing a fingering weight sweater, but honestly, I can't get that one out of my head. So if there's a way to manage that, please help me understand how to adapt that pattern, or sell me your Daffodil yarn. So one more thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this is kind of all personal stuff. So if you're here for the knitting, that was it. Thank you for joining me. Until next time. But I have started this series. I've heard quite a few people talk about it. I think Yarngasm, Kristen, listened to the audiobooks last year. And for whatever reason, I wasn't at the time interested in reading that series. But I just picked it up from my library 2 weeks ago. I read through all 3 books, and I'm rereading this series. As soon as I finished it, I went back to the library and got the first book. I will definitely be buying this set from Amazon because I'm completely obsessed and I want it in my library. It is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. If you like, it's young adult, but sometimes when they say young adult, when I consider young adult, I think of like Harry Potter. I don't consider this young adult. I wouldn't let my 12-year-old read this book. There's quite a bit of adult content. So maybe young adult is like, in your 20s. That's fine. But I wouldn't, the protagonist of the story is 19. Anyway, if you haven't read this, you should. If you love, fantasy, romance, adventure, this is such a good series. I won't do any spoilers because I know a lot of people haven't read it and might want to, but oh my god, I'm obsessed with it. There is one more thing there's more acquisitions. I'll show that next time. What else? The girls have started a new school this year. So we kind of live in the middle of nowhere, which I've talked about before. We live at a lake in Texas called Possum Kingdom Lake. And it is kind of in the middle of 2 towns. We're about 17 miles from one town and about 25 miles from the other. And the girls went to school at the one that's closer. They've been going to school there since Atrella was in kindergarten. So she's in 7th grade now, and we just kind of decided that the school that they were going to was a K through 12, and they just don't have a lot of extracurriculars that our girls are very interested in. It's a very, very, very small school, and they just don't have a lot of the same academic extras that our girls were interested in. So we decided to switch them schools. I couldn't be happier that we did. It is that in the middle of the first 6 weeks is over this week. And so it's a completely different school, like night and day. I do have to drive them now. So they rode the bus for Atrella's whole school career. She's been a bus kid. I used to drive them like on the first day, and sometimes, if they had an appointment or if I was in town, I would pick them up. But for the most part, they rode the bus there and back. And so now I have to drive them. Their new school doesn't have a bus that comes out this far. And I actually really enjoy driving the kids to school. The drive is a beautiful drive. It's kind of it's called the Palapino Mountain Range. I know people who live in the mountains would laugh at our mountains because they're just large hills. But that's what I see, going there and back as I'm driving through the big hills and the trees. And it's just a really beautiful, peaceful drive. It's kind of a 2-way highway road. There's like no median or anything. It's just a farm road. But it's a really nice drive. It takes me about 25 minutes to get there in the morning. Total time I'm traveling there and back, it's 2 hours out of my day. So that's quite a bit different than what I'm used to. Ruby is taking it like a champ. She has her sisters to kind of entertain her in the morning, and then in the afternoon, she goes down for her second nap. And so she doesn't mind the drive, and it's really nice. I get a lot of knitting time when I'm going to pick them up. She's asleep in the back seat, and I'm just sitting there in the, car line waiting for school to release knitting. And so it's really nice. I am happy and grateful, that I have the ability to do that my husband, works as hard as he does so I can be a stay-at-home mom. Ruby has lazy baby syndrome. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know that she is not crawling yet. She waves bye-bye, and she will say mama if she's upset about something. She loves to eat table food. I'm still pumping like 3 times a day, so that's a lot better than the 6 I was doing back in April and May. It kind of frees up my day a little bit, but we don't do a lot. We mostly sit at home. We go to the library, and we used to, when the girls were home from school, we went to the beach a lot, and now we just sort of chill out all day. I read to her and sing to her, and she goes down for naps, and that's our entire day. But I don't know what else to say about that. She's not sitting unsupported, and she does not crawl. And the doctor's not worried about it at all. He said in his experience, babies who are slower to do the, what is that word that I'm looking for? Motor skills. Babies who are slower with their motor skills are typically more intelligent. The girls, both of the older ones, were crawling by 7 months, and I think they're very intelligent. This one is 9 months old now and still not crawling, which it's good and bad. So the good is I don't really have to baby proof anything or worry about her getting into things that she's not supposed to. The bad is she gets frustrated because she isn't able to do things when she thinks that she needs to go somewhere. She just rolls, and it's really funny. But I have nothing else to say. I have not knit a lot, but I feel like I've knit a lot, and I don't really have anything else to show you guys. So thanks so much for joining me. If you have messaged me or written a comment on my Instagram talking about how much you've missed my podcast, thank you so much. That means so much to me, and I'm sorry that it's been so long since I've sat down with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed catching up with what I've been doing and listening to my little co-host be a crazy baby. So until next time, hopefully it won't be 4 months from now. Maybe I can get a little bit more of a solid schedule going. I'll talk to you guys next time.